Today I'm letting Create This Book 2 decide what I make, and let's just say the prompts take me in some unexpected directions.
Hey friends, today is the 8th episode of Create This Book 4. I can't believe it. I'm having so much fun, and today we tackle 4 more prompts, including that comic strip you saw in the thumbnail. So, let's get right into it.
First prompt of the day is to create a colorful page. I've been watching a lot of Dora with my kids lately, and the episode with Alebrijes was on, and I thought, I want to make my own alebrije. In case you don't know, an alebrije is a brightly colored, intricately painted Mexican folk art of fantastical hybrid creatures. They combine the physical traits of various real and mythical animals, and are painted with intense geometric patterns, dots, and stripes. This first one is my youngest, Evie. She's only 16 months, so we're still learning her personality, but I picked a deer as her primary animal because she's so sweet and delicate like a fawn. I picked a wolf for her secondary spirit animal, giving the little deer wolf ears because she's so adventurous and curious learning the world around her. Green is her chosen color because she's still growing, and green reminds me of spring when all the flowers are starting to bloom. Aw, she's done! Adding the patterns in different bright colors is so fun. Onto the second alebrije from my oldest, Mira. Mira is caring, artistic, smart, sensitive, and feisty. She may be young, but she's a force. So her main animal is a dragon. She does have a soft side though, and is very loving, especially with her little sister. So for her spirit animal, I chose a bunny, because even though she is fierce, she can be quite sensitive when it comes to scary things on TV or loud noises. Vibrant red is her color because of everything I've mentioned, and her artistic passion as well. She's done! I really like how the colors turned out on this one. Next up is my husband. He is confident, driven, grounded, and nurturing. His main animal is an owl because he's always thinking and is very analytical. Owls can also fly, which would be really handy so he could travel around the world and hopefully somehow take the rest of us with him. Speaking of flying, his wings are swapped out for butterfly wings. I knew he would be a good father, but I never anticipated just how involved and nurturing he would be, so that's why he's got a butterfly as his spirit animal. I'm a lucky gal. This one is the brightest yet. Only one more left to go. Last is my own alebrije. It's harder to be objective here, but I'd say that I'm free-spirited, loyal, artistic, and bold. I chose a bunny for my main animal because of my creativity, and then chose a bear as my spirit animal because I'm a mama bear, of course. I have always loved art, and you'll see more of that in the next prompt when I share old artworks from high school. For now though, pink is my main color and it's my favorite. I like to think that I have a bright personality, so I have lots of saturated colors here. Last one is done, now time to put them in the book. I just traced them and colored behind them before gluing them in, and now I'm adding a white line to the middle of that outline to make it look like they are glowing. I actually learned this technique a few weeks ago and made a video on it. I'll link that one in the description for a more detailed explanation. And I'm just now realizing that my alebrije is the smallest one when it should totally be bigger than my daughter's. Whoops! Researching alebrijes for this project was really fun too. Let me know down below what yours would look like. Anyways, first prompt is complete, and I definitely think this page accomplishes adding color. Next up is to create a to-do list. I'll try to keep this one very surface level because I'm going to share a bit about my other passion, computers. I know those two worlds don't usually intersect, so stick with me. My day job is a software engineer, which just means that I write code all day. Because I know how to do this, I also enjoy making websites for my passion projects. One of these passion projects is collecting Meemeows. But I seriously have so many that it's hard to keep track, so I literally created a website to do that. And as I fill in my to-do list, I'll show you a quick view of each step along the way. First step is to create a list of all the current Meemeows and some information about them, then to create an app script, which basically just lets you share this data with anyone by creating a simple website. Next is the basic setup, which includes adding the code to display the Meemeow data on the website with this function appropriately named Get Meemeows. Now let's add some features to the website, like the ability to search by dragon and only have the related ones shown. Next, let's cutify it. How you do that is by adding colors and fonts into this file aptly called the style sheet. Let's add the ability for people to log in now so that anyone else who is obsessed with Meemeows like me can keep track of their own collection too. Now let's buy a domain, which is just a nice name for your site. For this one, I chose memeowtracker.com. Last step is to share it, so here you go. Go ahead and check it out. I also made a website for my YouTube channel where I mostly just create a blog post for each video, and I also share a bit about myself. Like here's some of my artwork from high school that I said I'd share earlier. I'd also love to have a shop in the future though. Let me know in the comments if you'd be interested in any products from me. Let me just write out the Meemeow website here. I'll also link it and my YouTube channel website in the description in case you want to check it out. I'm going to paste a screenshot from the website on the right side, but I want to use alcohol markers on the next page, so we'll come back to that later. We're finally at the prompt that you all saw at the thumbnail. Create a comic strip. As you know, I eventually came up with telling the story of The Incredibles. It was super fun to think about how to break the movie down into 9 panels. Of course, we first have Mr. Incredible and Elastigirl falling in love in a time where superheroes were celebrated. They were always at the scene to help, and these lone wolves eventually found each other. But then the world turned against them. Once loud and proud, now superheroes had to disappear and live their lives just as regular people would. As you can imagine, this was not an easy transition for everyone. While Helen, Elastigirl, accepted it, Bob, Mr. Incredible, struggled. In this scene, he's at his soul-sucking desk job, daydreaming about his life before. After settling down, they had 3 kids, 2 of which have powers. The middle child, Dash, could run at the speed of light, but seeing as all those with powers were in hiding, he was taught to suppress it and to never be first in a race when he could easily outrun his classmates by miles. As you could imagine, this was not easy for a young boy to do, and he ends up very frustrated. As you can see here, he's looking back at his parents for reassurance that he's not running too fast. Anyway, does anyone else struggle with micron pens? I really dislike them. They dry out fast and don't always give a crisp black line like my regular pen does. You'll see me using both throughout when the micron doesn't behave. The oldest, a girl named Violet, could disappear. This worked in her favor because she's an extremely shy girl, especially around her school crush. Her struggles are more of those of a regular teenager would have, such as insecurity, low self-esteem. Her powers made it easier for her to fall into those traps instead of putting herself out there. This next one is pretty simple, just the business card Bob gets to be recruited to a secret job for superheroes. He gladly accepts, but keeps it a secret because he knows that Helen would not approve. He and his best friend Frozone secretly go on these business trips now, and Helen eventually realizes something is up. To be honest, I was originally not feeling very inspired by this prompt, but now seeing it come to life, I am loving the bright colors and the story it tells so far. To Mr. Incredible's surprise, the company he's been working for is actually owned by Syndrome. Syndrome was once a young kid named Buddy who admired Mr. Incredible, but Mr. Incredible turned him away when Buddy, who doesn't have powers, wanted to work with Mr. Incredible using his superhero-like inventions. Since then, Syndrome has had something to prove and wanted to get back at Mr. Incredible. Next we have the wonderful Edna, the wizard of superhero costume design. She created revamped versions of the costumes for the whole family, including baby Jack Jack. Helen finds out that not only is Bob in trouble, but that he also has a new job, when Edna casually mentioned that she's made these new suits and it has a tracking device. Edna didn't realize that Bob didn't tell the whole family about his new job. Armed with their new suits, the whole family, minus Jack Jack, jumps on a plane to go rescue Dad. Only, Helen did not know that the kids were on board, and I somehow didn't record this one. Whoops! Next we have the big battle, where Helen also ends up captured by Syndrome. To both their surprise, Violet and Dash come to their rescue. After defeating Syndrome, they celebrate and come to an understanding that the kids need to be able to use their powers more as they learn and grow. Lastly, we have Jack Jack, who didn't have powers. Suddenly he has lots of powers, including being able to burst into flames or shoot laser beams from his eyes. The movie ends on this note, but it's not the end for the Incredibles family. There's a second movie, and I just learned when double checking the story for this page that a third movie is coming out in 2028. I love this page. There's so much to look at in every panel. Let me know if you'd want a more in-depth tutorial of how to make a page look like this comic book style. That could be a fun video to do. Oh, and before moving on, let's glue that website into the to-do list prompt before we move on to the last prompt of the video. That last prompt is going to be create a miracle. I enjoyed researching natural miracles before landing on one. I learned that there's green beaches in Hawaii and a blue volcano in Indonesia. But I ended up deciding going with the phenomenon of bioluminescent beaches. A bioluminescent beach is where tiny light-emitting plankton glow a bright blue-green when moved by the waves or movement of the water. The best time to see them is a couple hours after sunset on the night of a full moon. There's actually several beaches in North America, including Puerto Rico, California, Florida, and even North Carolina where I live now. I need to head over to the beach soon to see this for myself. I'm coloring the base layers with alcohol marker and making the ocean the blue-green color I mentioned, like in this photo. I was struggling with the marker drying out, but I'll fix that later. Now I'll just add a blend to the sky and add some clouds by smudging a white Posca. The bonus here is that I can use these clouds to cover my bad blending job here. Now we add some white dots and we officially have a night sky. Let's also give some attention to this mountain, giving it some life and bringing in some more organic shapes and trees. I keep it simple though because the light source is coming from behind and so this side of the mountain is completely black. Finally, the star of this prompt, the water. I cover the streaky side with a darker blue-green and I also use this to make some dots all over the lighter water. If this looks familiar, it is. I'm going to use the glitter coloring effect here to make the water seem like it's shining. Same as for the glow technique, go ahead and watch that video next if you want to see a more in-depth explanation of how to do this process. It's super fun to do and watch it come to life, and once you add those white highlights, it just starts to glitter. I like this page, but looking back, I wish I had added the glitter effect in the waves a bit more, since it looks kind of disconnected, but since it's in the book, I didn't want to risk the markers bleeding onto the next page. That said, I am happy with it, and I love being able to bring back a technique that I had learned before. That brings us to the end of today's video. We created a colorful page, a to-do list, a comic strip, and a miracle.
Okay guys, I had so much fun. My favorite has to be the comic strip that I made. Let me know your favorite page down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye friends!